Namaste programs, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. France to Australia in tiny little bits trip. We ended up in Tripoli yesterday, so that's where we will begin our journey today. Let's see how far away. This is going to be way too far, I think. Yep. So we want to find an airport somewhere in between. Somewhere around here. Is there an airport at Misurata? There is. 35 minutes is just about perfect. Now, do we go along the coast or do we sneak along the mountain? I think the coast. The coast is going to have more likely to have towns and people and things to look at. Although I'm not seeing any town names. There's one, Al-Qums. Let's visit there. Okay, Al-Qums. We'll go to Zlitan, like so. Anything up here to look at? Surely. I mean, these are, we can see there's towns and farms and things. Here we go. Al-Garabuli. Garabuli. Oh, there was another airport up here. Let's do that. Mitigar. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's do that. Let's go. All right, all's looking good. Let's go. Yet again, we have the moon in the sky like a big pizza pie. That's Tripoli. I'm really weird about the steering in this new update, but I'll allow it. Get our gears up. Fly west for a little bit while we gain height. I know, but for some reason this plane just doesn't like climbing. And 266 for 1 minute 6 seconds. What is it you think I'm doing?
Tripoli Tower, Chas Rover, Zulu Alpha 11 continue for west departure.
For west departure. Get another chance to look at Tripoli here. Flying up to Mitiga Airport, which seems to be another airport in Tripoli. This is definitely the big one, the international one. But that other one's probably just just a mini one. Sounds very windy. Alright. We want 29 degrees for 5 minutes 3 seconds. Start our clock. On our way to Tripoli Mitiga Airport. Should take us basically past the city again. We sort of didn't quite go over the city. We turned to go to the airport yesterday, so maybe we'll get to see a little bit more of Tripoli. And its wonders. Wind, though. Definitely in the game. I thought it might be outside my window here, but no, it's windy. Windy as bro. Can we get the... Which one is it? Oh, that one? It's this one. Alright. Gotta do our pitot heat. I think I've missed my my direction. Of course I have. 29 degrees. What kind of wind? We get 30. Fuck, 35 knots coming from behind us. That's some gusty winds. Very windy day here in Tripoli. Let's level off now. Should have done that before as well. Oh, I'm behind on everything today. Here are the radar fields again. giving a message to the radar aliens, who are circular in shape and thought. Hello, Moon. You know, after they turn this in from Microsoft Flight Simulator into Microsoft World Simulator by, you know, making it so you can drive around and things like that, making the detail level at ground level even better, because it's not bad at the moment, but you could obviously make it better. They then need to add the moon, and spaceships, and Mars and shit, and turn it to Microsoft Universe Simulator. Then your noodle will be baked. Alright. There's a big park we saw yesterday, in the middle of it all. A couple of big parks. 3 even. Interesting. Holy doly. Fungaruli. I apologise if that means anything. That was just a word we used to say as kids. We used to say cooly doly fungaruli, but maybe fungaruli is something in some other language that I never found out, and I'm saying something horrific. My apologies if that's true. Look at this building. What's going on there? Museum, maybe? Government offices, maybe? Headquarters of the local branch of the Illuminati, maybe? Lizard people? You just don't know. You just don't know. Here's the airport. That's a pretty big airport as well. Pretty big one. Right in the middle of everyone as well. Aircraft noise. Clearly a problem in Tripoli. Big highways going through everything. Interesting city. Interesting city indeed. And this wind, you can hear it. You can hear it. Make sure we go over the airport so that our purple arrow is satisfied. Hello, Mitiga Airport. Mitiga. Boom. Purple arrow satiated. Sacrifice made to the god of the purple arrow. Now we want 109 degrees for 722 on our way to Al Garabuli. You're just a bully. Damn, look at the extent of Tripoli. It just keeps going. It don't stop coming. Let's have a look below us, see what's going on again with the blue roofs. They like their blue roofs. Sometimes they like their blue roofs. heaps going on here. We've got beaches and ports and marinas and factories and oh man. And all of these are actually little farms as well. Little fields left and right and center and above and below. And then boom, the desert. This wind is crazy. 32 knots. It's not pushing me around at all, but I can hear it in my headphones. Not really hear it when we're in the plane, which is correct. Well, that would be true to a certain extent. There's this big circular park thing with buildings in the middle of it. Bunch of buildings hidden in amongst a forest. I must be up to something. Some kind of business or industry or enterprise. Making money for people. Providing goods and services. It's sus. And also completely normal. I am trying to sort of head back to the purple line here, but I mean the wind is pushing me basically sideways right now, so yeah, we'll get back on our line now. I'm close enough to the purple line. Let's get back to 110. We're halfway to Al Garabuli.
Rover Zulu Alpha 11 contact Tripoli Center on 120.9er. Good day.
Co-pilot, deal with it.
120.9er Chas Rover Zulu Alpha 11.
Thank you.
Tripoli Center, Chas Rover Zulu Alpha 11 2,800 feet.
Chas Rover Zulu Alpha 11 Tripoli Center QNH 29er decimal 75 continue as planned.
And 5. Oh, wow, we've lost 0.01 of an inch per. What is that? Inch per something? Per kilopascal or something? I don't know. It's a pressure. It's a pressure gauge, isn't it? I don't remember. Something to do with pressure. The local area pressure of the atmosphere where you're at, which you need to determine your altitude, because there's maths involved. I remember I had to learn the maths. I've forgotten the maths. But presumably there's some way of calculating altitude from pressure. But you do need the local variance from the standard, 1,000 feet is this much less pressure, that kind of thing. That's how you do the calculations. And we've talked about it enough now. It's annoying that part of my brain that hates maths. What's going on down here? Oh, it's just fields. I thought it was a building that had a green roof, but no, it's a field. These patches of sand. Dunes. Little beach. Cool. What have we done? We've done 5:30 of 7:30, so this sort of city that's starting to render in now, just off in the distance, is probably Al Garabuli, town, city, whatever it was. Yes, we're just about, the purple line is beginning to curve. So I guess our custom point is actually over to the right a bit. So it's definitely this town here, Al Garabuli. Let's make sure we go over it and its custom point, yet again as a sacrifice to the god of purple arrows. And also to see what's going on in our Garibaldi. Seems like it's basically built up around a highway. Probably started off as a rest stop, but has now become a place of business, industry, and everything else I was talking about before. Place where shit gets done. Like some of these towns in America along highways, just little patches of civilization around some kind of local industry, no doubt. All right, 99 degrees for 8:55. Restart our clock. Turn to 99 degrees. Do everything we're supposed to do. Where are we headed? Al-Qums. K-H-U-M-S. Al-Qum. We shall call him Muad'Dib. Again, we're back to the trees. The trees in rows. Wow, that's a lot of trees in rows. The algorithm here just doesn't deal with it at all. It's not putting them in as trees, just leaving them in the photograph. Curse you, algorithm. Curse your... what's the word? Finicky ways. You mercurial algorithm. How's the wind? That's still pretty strong. Okay, 32. But probably almost directly behind me now. Yep. Hello there. There's quite a lot of, you know, little towns and little villages along here. Stuff going on. You know, all completely decimated by the zombie apocalypse, but, you know, a few people shacked up in little groups that are constantly at war with each other, while they're also at war with the zombies. But we can ignore the reality of all of that from our perch up high here at 3,000 feet. Ain't no zombies that can fly yet. They're probably being engineered by some secret lab who are trying to find a cure for the zombie virus, but they're gonna make them fly or turn them into robots, or, you know, the alien lizard people will help the zombies become airborne. And then meanwhile, we're going from basically beige to basically red. What's going on here? A huge patch of aluminium or something. Bauxite. Fairly large town here as well. And yeah, they're starting to have a bunch of little hills. It's like a completely different. Oh, actually, the hills have been going on for a while there. I mean, of course, yeah. To the east and the south was a bunch of mountains. Yeah. I thought deciding. No, that's fair enough. Yeah, the change of colour. The change of colour. Please explain. Algorithm's actually putting some trees in now because of the. I guess the different colour is making it easier. Man, so many trees in rows. If they're all the same crop, if they're all olives. That's what apparently they are in Tunisia. Man, how much olives get grown on this planet? Why are the olives so important? Let's see, we've done 4 minutes of, how long was this one? Nearly 9 minutes, so we're not even halfway there yet. To our next stop along this journey. Well, stop, waypoint. Certainly no stopping involved. Not until we get to the end. Then we will stop for one last time today until we start again tomorrow. This summer, it will be winter. Yeah. Not many sort of like party beaches, resorts along here. There was some earlier in Libya, and obviously there was a whole segment in Tunisia. So I guess these aren't the good beaches, or it's, you know, this is the country or something. And not enough people out here to bother with having nice little beach getaways. Look at the colours in these fields below us here. It's incredible. Well, it just doesn't look real all of a sudden. It looks like a painting. Of course, it's not real, it's just a simulation, but it's a good simulation. So I imagine if we were in this part of the world, you'd be like, wow, the colours. I feel like we're in a painting instead of real life. But then is real life not a simulation? We will never know. I don't think it's possible to know. Got on here, we've got a bunch of large roads that go to tiny little houses. What's that all about? Are they like research stations or something? Or just, you know, people who like large roads to their small houses? I think it might just be a bad photography, low-res photography. Maybe it's military stuff. It's been blurred out on Bing Maps, and now the algorithm's doing its best to try and do something with it, but all it's coming up with is strange roads and tiny little buildings. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. It's some kind of blurred part of the map. It does look that way, doesn't it? It does look that way. It's just a bunch of colour rather than being able to determine fields and hills and things. Right, this must be Al Qum's up here, up against the sea. Actually, we'll stay on our current course because our white line is over to the right, and we're curving to the right, so the point will be somewhere in front of us, almost certainly, because I picked this city. Let's go have a look at it. It's got a gigantic marina, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, look, this is bigger than the city itself. That's just a giant port. Probably military then. A little bit like Toulon, which is near me, which has a giant port, something like that. Because it has all of the big boats and the carriers and the destroyers and things, I guess. I don't know anything about Navy boats. But I guess they need big ports. Big boats need big ports. Here's our little custom thing coming up now. Above the city of Al Qum. It's got its traditional football field with its beige running track around it. With a few buildings off to one side. That is presumably some kind of a stadium. Seating. Got what? Something weird here. Really thin. It's coming in as a building, but it's probably a wall. An old city wall, an old ruin that they've kept there, perhaps? Interesting. Don't know what that is. Don't know what that is. Some kind of important building anyway. Alright. That was Al Qum's. 121 to 621. We are going to Zlitan. Zlitan. Let's go see it. Let's have a look around. Ah, there's nothing but water that way. Not even a bloody island. Back to the moon, chasing us, following us, hunting us. Okay. Alright, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. How's our wind doing? Why did that go... I only pressed it once. We're down to, well, it's 29, 30 knots. It's still pretty strong, but slightly less strong. Wow. Plenty of population here as well. It's, I guess these North African places are very similar to Australia in that everyone lives on the coast. The inland is just some desert, so everyone's all bunched up on the edge here. A giant field over to the right there. It looks like the colouring of like football fields and things, but way too big to be a football field. I guess it's just some kind of farm field, but it kind of sticks out in this area where everything's just trees in rows. You've got this very green, very irrigated, grassy fields. Why are you getting to use all the water, huh? Alright, we're back on the white line. That's what I've been going over this way a bit for. Instead of following the heading, we can now head back to 121. Like so, and follow the beach a bit. We'll stay on the beach. We won't go over the water there. You know, water's like floor is lava. We don't want to go over the water. If we can avoid it. A, because there's not much to look at. And B, just, you know, I feel like that's kind of good practice for flying. You don't really want to go too far. If something happens to your plane and you have to ditch, you don't want to be 3 kilometers out into the water. You want to either be able to, you know, water ditch close to the land, or find somewhere on land to get down. That's a much safer way of landing. Planes are designed to land on land. You know, there's plenty of fields here, or you could land on the beach or something if you had to, I suppose. Not that you'd want to. It's almost certainly not going to end well, but you've got a better chance than just plummeting from the sky and landing nose first into a mountain or something. How are we doing? 3 minutes done of 6 minutes, so... Zlitan must be that city we can just see up on the coast there. A nice little river, exiting it to the sea. Seems to just come from nowhere. It's what's it there? And then somehow that's a road, not a river. Must go underground or something. Who knows? What? I guess that's it. Back again there. There. Actually, there we go. So it goes around there like that. That's just sort of almost like a creek bed here, and then yeet. And that's where it came from. That's where it's going. Don't know where I'm going. We should be heading over here. But for some reason, I'm heading over there. We want to come and say hi to Zlitan. Pretty big city. Pretty big. Certainly very spread out. We haven't really gone into a patch of not much civilization. It's all just sort of been continuous along here. Plenty of people, plenty of places to live. Anyway, here's our big city of Zlatan. What have we got? We've got a weird triangular shaped building there. Big square building. And I think the algorithm's struggling. How did I end up at 4,000 feet, for fuck's sake? I haven't been looking at that at all. I thought we were on level flight, basically. Let's trim down a bit. Power down a bit. Just let's get back to like 2,500 or so. It's this bloody backwind. Tailwind, I guess. Alright. Let's have a look this way a bit while we turn to our next heading. 105 degrees for 8 minutes 53. Where we will be landing at Misurata. Nice little gardens or something there. Been a few of these sort of roundabouts with the quadrant circle greenery. Must be a popular way of doing things. Maybe some kind of fountain in the middle of it. Big stagnant pond they've got there for their industrial use. Did I start the clock? I did start the clock. Sometimes I remember. Alright, that'll do with the descending. Let's stick around here. 2,500 sounds good to me. Slightly less windy down at this height, or perhaps it's just where we are. We're getting out of the windy areas. We are sort of away from now the mountains, aren't we? Look, it's all just flat desert for ages. What even happened to them? The mountains have disappeared. They've just stopped rendering. Dang. Farewell mountains. Follow this very long straight road. See if we can spy anything interesting here, where there's yet again more trees in rows. Got just like this whole area is just a grid, like 3, 4 long straight things. I think these might be irrigation channels in the middle, but maybe they're roads. There's definitely a road on the left, road on the right, maybe. No, maybe it's just a train line. And these, well, these were just roads as well. There's houses next to them, so long. Well, whoever designed this area was OCD. Everything had to be straight, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Keep things neat and tidy. I don't know what that big dirt road is. It's either a road or, you know, maybe it's where electricity lines run or something. It's not like the others that are tree lined. It's just a big, wide, sandy road. Maybe it's got a special purpose. Who knows? Doesn't look like it's a train line. I can see no tracks. Maybe it's for tanks or something. I just don't know. Let's see, we've done 4.5 minutes of 9. Halfway there to Misurata. Look at the colours of the soil out there. It's all beige to greens to reds from right to left. Incredible. Got a big lake or even maybe a salt lake there. Alright, so this must be Misurata coming up. Where is your airport? Hello, where have you put it? Can we see it on the... We cannot yet. We are too far away, apparently. Let's find out. Let's go nearest airport list. Misurata HLMS, yes. Co-pilot, deal with it. 9 miles west. Yeah, okay, there it is. There it is. That's it there. Make straight in runway 15.
Make straight in runway 15 Chas Rover Zulu Alpha 11.
Yes, ma'am. Alright, well, we'll come over this way a little bit. Start saying hello to the outskirts of... Is Misurata the name of the town or the airport? I think it must be the town. The city. Pretty big. Another big one. It's like a fairly large airport as well, so... Must be a big city. If it has jumbos landing on at its airport. I think we can probably start... Well, let's go down to like 80 or 70 or so. Start dropping a bit. Clear to land, runway 15.
Clear to land runway 15 Chas Rover Zulu Alpha 11.
Alright, let's do that then. Let's do that. Is there... No, it's just 15. There's only one runway. It looks like there's 2. Which means the... I'm guessing the thing on the right is a taxiway, so it's the... We're landing on the big thing on the left. Okay, I'll allow it. This must be a taxiway, and this must be the runway. If there's a... Oh yes, we've got our mystical, magical lights leading us in. Let's, get over here a bit. We need a bit of power. I think we're coming in a bit short. Football field just straight out the window there. Oh, it's even got red tracks on it. What are you, a European football field? How dare you? How dare you? You rebel. That is another runway. This should be 15 left and 15 right, I reckon. Anyway, apparently not. Apparently not. And of course we've got this crazy crosswind, although it's only 15 knots here. Which is better than 30 knots. Don't know that we'd be able to land it at crosswind of 30 knots. Not easily, anyway. I think we're looking pretty good. We're going to have to come in sideways a bit because of the wind. But that's no big deal. Kinda. No big deal. Look, it's not a big deal until it is. That's... well, let's leave it at that. There we go. Come on in. Bit of rudder to straighten ourselves up a bit. Beautiful. Again, with the steering, this is just very weird. Very weird. Alright, get the brakes on. Why are you trying to go to the right? Plane. Stop it. Stop it. There we go. Let's get our brakes on. Turn next taxiway. No, I'm not going to do it. Got to finish the video. That was leg 14 of this huge bush trip across the world that I'm doing. I hope you enjoyed that. We've arrived at Misurata. Thank you for watching. Thank you for existing. Au revoir. Goodbye.